Hey everybody, and welcome back to Dude's Brunch. It's a podcast about pop culture, internet garbage, and black coffee. I'm your host, Taylor Olmstead, and with me this week it's my good buddy, Tyler Reed. Tyler Reed, what did you have for brunch today?
Hey everybody. Happy brunch. My throat's really itchy from working in customer service all day.
What a baby.
I'm
customer service all day.
Hey!
Speaking of nasally singers, we'll get to that later.
Alright. So I had a really mediocre, forgettable brunch today, but yesterday I had a Geta breakfast quesadilla, and that was pretty good.
That sounds delicious.
Yeah. It was pretty simple. Just had cheese, Geta, and they served it with sour cream, so it was a very, yellow-white meal, and they were supposed to give me salsa, but I had to, go ask for it, and they gave me, this orange salsa. I was like, what's going on here? Why, where's the color? Where's the pizzazz?
You were disappointed in their plating?
Yeah, it was just okay. But it was pretty good. For Geta, usually it's crusty and crunchy, but it wasn't. It was smooth, and it was good. It was a different flavor than I'm used to with having Geta. So, boy, this sure is only useful to the 5 people who listen to this podcast in Cincinnati.
That's true, but I'll allow it because I've been craving Geta recently.
Ooh, baby.
Well, you heard him before. Sean Evans is here. Sean, what did you have for brunch today?
I'm not your best friend or anything like that. I don't get a warm title. I just get Sean Evans is here.
Sean, the backwards hat man Evans.
Thank you. Still no reference to our friendship, but that's fine. Common contributor, acquaintance in passing, Sean Evans. How's it going, bro?
I love you, Sean. I love you. What did you have for brunch?
Today, I didn't feel I kind of passed on cornflakes and I passed on breakfast burritos. So Sarah and I went to the mall and I had a Auntie Anne's pretzel, and then we went upstairs and they had a Cinnabon, and they had they have the Biscoff cookie sprinkled on top Cinnabon. Well, she messed it up, so we just got a regular Cinnabon, but I thought about the Biscoff cookies on top when I was eating it, and it was still pretty good.
I mean, that's pretty good. That sounds like you went out and you did something. Yeah. That's pretty neat.
And that was it. We pretty much just mall ratted for 3 hours. Didn't buy anything except pretzels and a Cinnabon.
I haven't done that in a while. I feel like, I'm in no way nostalgic for mall ratting, but
I was gonna say, this just sounds like high school to me.
No, we went out because Sarah went to Nordstrom Rack yesterday. I didn't realize they were having the Clear the Rack this weekend. So I was like, okay, they have nice shoes. I can go there and see what they got, and I just didn't find anything that I liked. But we went to the van store because I wanted some cool Vans, and then I didn't find anything that I liked. And then we went to Kate Spade, Sarah, and Kate Spade is expensive even on sale.
I bet.
I don't even know what that place even is.
That's real though, Sean. I feel like the last couple times I've been to the mall, I've walked around for a couple hours, specifically trying to get one thing. I'm trying to get a new jacket, or I'm trying to get some new shoes. Never find what I want. Always end up buying it online. The struggle is real.
Because it's right there. It's I like the idea of having tangible things, but then I'm
well, the stuff I usually end up getting is Japanese or whatever, and so I have to get 3XL because they're always very, very tiny, and I'm working on becoming a smaller individual.
My problem is I usually wear a small or a medium in most things, and so I go to the store and I try stuff on, and it's they only have larges left, and so then I end up having to order a smaller size online anyway. So it's at least I get to feel the fabric and everything, but it's frustrating.
I shop probably 40 hours a week.
I bet you do, working in retail. On
top of being at my job, so it's it doesn't really ever turn off. So when I don't go to work, I still go shopping to see what's going on at other brands and in fashion and stuff. And I know you can't tell because I got my douche hat on with my Nike t-shirt that's clearly branded with all of its Nike stuff, but for viewers who can't see me, because this is how a podcast works, apparently. Did you guys know that?
Yeah.
This is a new thing for me.
I did know that, actually. So,
okay.
But for a brief period of time, we were a live podcast, and boy, was that...
It did matter what you wore. I really paid attention to that, but now... I could tell you I was wearing a clown hat, and what you'd never even know.
For all we know, Sean's not even wearing pants.
Want to see?
No, thank you.
right.
Oh, Sean, please. Oh, God.
Well,
You just threw up because you were like, wow, I can't believe it. It's like when you see something so beautiful, you have to throw up your whole lunch.
It's just so attractive.
like I said at the beginning of the show, I'm your host, Taylor, and for brunch this morning, I was back on that smoothie game, Tyler. You best believe it.
Oh, yeah.
You best believe it. Got me some berries and some bananas and peanut butter, yogurt and milk. Just
Nice. I've just been having health paste, so I don't know what taste is anymore.
that's Soylent.
But yeah, are you
It's
still
gonna kill ya.
drinking Soylent?
I have 2 left of my current load, of my current stock.
Please don't call it a load.
My love.
That makes it so much worse.
And I'm like, should I buy more?
No.
I guess.
I bet after he has a load, he has a good push right afterwards.
But anyway, so you had a berry smoothie, Taylor. That's really great. Was it? What berries did you say?
I just got like a frozen berry mix from Kroger. It's got like some raspberries, blackberries, and something else in it.
See, I was apprehensive about buying those because I mean, obviously they're there, and I'm like, boy, I sure could just have a menagerie of things and pay a flat fee. But I'm like, do I lose money? But I'm
No,
like,
you really don't
care?
lose money because they don't go bad like buying fresh berries. The problem you're going to run into though is when you blend them. If you don't let them thaw a little bit first, they just thicken up your smoothie a lot because they're frozen already.
It just turns into like a milkshake.
Yeah.
Like a really thick milkshake.
Yeah, so you almost
That's
got to
the problem
like
I
throw
have
them in the
having.
microwave on defrost for like 10 seconds before you put them in the blender, and then you're solid.
Yeah, what's your consistency? Do you like it to be
Yeah,
thinner?
what's your viscosity rating on your smoothie?
Like a little bit thinner than a Chick-fil-A milkshake. if I had to drink it,
DQ Blizzard?
like if I had to drink it through
Or-
a straw, I could. You know what I mean?
Okay. See, my problem was when I made it with the frozen stuff, I put it in like a bullet blender and I was trying to drink it, and then I just got like a giant snowball of fruit right in my face.
Yeah, that was the first couple times I used frozen fruit. You gotta really get like the microwave time right before you throw it in the blend.
Okay.
This is the most technical brunch talk we've ever had on this brunch-themed podcast.
It's almost like something people would expect when they come to a show called Dude's Brunch.
But that's okay, because it's not what we're going to talk about for the rest of the show. It's equally dude's brunchy, though, since it's now the first week of October as we record this. So obviously, we have to have a low-hanging fruit.
Don't you mean Rocktober?
Sure. We have to
Thank
do
you.
a low-hanging fruit basic fall topic. I understand that everybody did some fall-tastic things this weekend. What'd you guys get into?
We got a jug of apple cider, but also before that, 2 weeks ago when I was at my brother's wedding, we did try the new maple Frappucino at Starbucks. Yeah, look out, pumpkin spice. Your days are numbered, bro.
And your Ugg boots grew 2 sizes that day?
Actually, my Ugg boots are already 6 sizes too small, but once you've had that, it grew to be a normal Ugg, and now I love all the children. Ass.
Was it actually good, though?
Yeah, it was pretty good. It doesn't, like, I'm not a huge fan of maple, but when we got the sampler, I was like, Sarah's like, try this, you'll like it. I was like, all right, but it was pretty good.
I'm interested to try it. It's been a minute since I've been to Starbucks, but now that that's there and the pumpkin spice is there, I think it's time to unleash my inner basic white person. Tyler, what fall-themed activities have you been up to?
So, I got the one question today, so what's in the Autumn Fest latte? And I'm like...
What's a one of what?
What's in the Autumn Fest latte? What's in your Autumn Fest latte?
Oh, Autumn Fest. I was like...
What's in your
I was like,
Autumn
what
Fest?
the-
What's in your pumpkin pie latte? You're like, well, ma'am, let me tell you, it's a hot or cold latte with cinnamon and hazelnut, or with our pumpkin spice flavoring. And so we have those there. I had the pumpkin pie because I know what cinnamon hazelnut tastes like, and I had it iced, which is the mistake. Don't
Get it
get
warm?
pumpkin spice cold. I feel like it just tastes like Garbo. I mean, I didn't get it like super sweet. I think I got it with almond milk, which was, I mean, come on, if you're just gonna do it, you might as well fucking do it and get whole milk. And so it's like, it just didn't do anything for me. I don't know, it feels like it just needs to be really sweetened to be good.
The sweetening definitely helps, but I think you're right, it's better when it's hot. There's something about how, like, the warmth of the coffee makes you feel all warm inside while you're drinking the pumpkin spice, which is weird because pumpkin pie is cold. And I know that Sean's shaking his head at this.
No, you don't have to eat it cold. You can eat it warm. I've had pumpkin pie warm.
Really?
Yeah, not like
either. Yeah,
not like right out of the oven because it's like, but you gotta let it settle. You can eat it warm. Yeah.
I figured you had to let it like sit in the fridge so it kind of like thickens up a little bit.
Oh, it doesn't mean you don't eat it like scalding hot, but yeah, you can have it like nice and like 100 degrees.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, you don't eat it. You don't want it to be like tepid or anything, but I like it cold too. I think it depends. See, the problem with the warm stuff is that the whipped cream will melt.
And the whipped cream's the best part.
Right. But yeah, I really like warm crust over cold crust.
I mean, my favorite pie is strawberry pie, so pie is always best cold for me.
I'm notoriously anti-pie.
So you can get the fuck out.
Although the pumpkin pie is alright. I'm slowly getting more I'm slowly appreciating pie more, but I think I just don't like apple pie or like cherry pie.
What?
Well, it's funny you say that because yesterday I went apple picking and I have a shit ton of apples now and I'm going to make some apple pie and I'm also going to make some I'm going to save some of the pie filling and take it when I go camping with my family later this month and we're going to do some Dutch oven cobblers with it. To get the full fall effect.
Yeah. Nothing says actual fall about going out into the woods with your scouting family and doing
That's
it right.
But no, so the apple picking experience was pretty interesting. I have to say, all of the stereotypical fall things that I feel like we talk about on this podcast every year. Imagine rolling all of that up with the most stereotypical hillbilly things that you've ever thought of but never said out loud, and then putting them in one place. And that is apple picking. So there's people in flannels, there's girls taking selfies for Instagram, they're picking the apples, there's apple cider donuts, you can get more kinds of apple butters and apple jams and different canned goods than I have ever seen in my whole life. Things that shouldn't even exist, like pickled beet jam. I'm like, no. 100% no. Get it out.
You're just not from the old country, bro.
I'm not from the old country. I guess that's what it is.
No, I was gonna say, in some way, there's some sort of nice feeling of oh, well, it's the harvest time, so all right, this is the only time we'll be able to get that. But since we live in a global economy, we can get anything at any time. So it just doesn't matter. We can have apple pie or we can have pumpkin pie any day of any year.
Well, and so that's what I wanted to get at, is I feel like of all the things fall related that you see at the apple orchard, apple cider donuts and apple cider itself are really the only two that I feel like you can't buy the rest of the year. Is that just me?
That's true.
It probably depends on where you live. You probably get it. You're gonna pay out the nose for it. I mean, I feel like apple cider is already $10 a gallon.
But I love it so much.
I know, me too. I paid $4 for a half a gallon of it.
I mean, you can just get apple juice.
No, not the same. Juice? Not the same. Get out.
You're right.
You're right. Of all people, the iced coffee snob. And you don't know the difference between apple juice and apple cider? But no.
Hey guys, I just bought my new Chemex, so I really gotta figure out the artisanal differences between these two.
So anyway, you get to the orchard, and there's the little country store you can go through and buy your various jams and jellies and sundry apple goods. And if you're a lazy scrub, you can just buy apples in the store. But who does that when you're at the apple orchard? Heck no, you gotta go get you a bag and go pick you some apples. Which is actually a lot more fun than I thought it was gonna be.
Then you have to buy them?
Yeah, you had to buy the bags.
Are they cheaper?
It was $12 for a bag of apples, as many as you could fit in the bag, so.
Oh, wow. How big is a bag?
It was probably the length of my forearm. I mean, it was easily 24 apples.
Okay,
maybe close to 30. So it was probably still cheaper.
Oh, is there a variety of apples that you can pick from, or is there just like one breed of apples that you can choose?
So that's what surprised me. When we walked in, there was like a calendar of sorts that said which apples were available from August through October. And so it's basically like different types of apples become ripe at different times of the year.
Yeah.
And at any given time, they had like 3 or 4 different types that were ripe. So we were up there this weekend, and there were Granny Smith, Red Delicious, Arkansas Black, which I had never heard of before.
Never heard of that.
And Cameo, I think it was. Yeah, we mainly stuck to the Arkansas Black and the Granny Smiths, because that was where the most were. The Red Delicious were really picked over, which is fine, because Red Delicious don't taste like anything. They just look good. But yeah, there were more types of apples than I had ever heard of, for sure.
I feel like, just say it, I feel like the delicious red apples are like kind of like the most like audaciously named apples. Like,
no, that's
like,
not true.
excuse you.
I see your Red Delicious and I raise you Golden Delicious, which are just yellow. That's not a name of an
This makes
apple.
me want to watch Fantastic Mr. Fox now.
Good fall movie right there, Fantastic Mr. Fox. Very good
You're
fall
right.
movie.
Ooh. God, can we take a detour for a
No,
second?
because I haven't even gotten to the best part of apple picking yet. The
You're
best
right.
part
Okay,
of
go ahead.
the best part of apple picking.
Were you sitting under a tree and you discovered gravity?
No, not even that. It's all of the dumb stuff they have for kids to do when they get tired of picking apples. So when we first came up, it was like, oh, it's a petting zoo, whatever. That's, normal kid stuff. And they had like a little trampoline thing, and I was like, yeah, cool. And then they had these weird, like, bigger than a big wheel, but smaller than a bicycle, like mountain trikes that kids could ride around and race on. But from there, it started getting strange. There was like just a hen house, like in the middle of the kids area with just like chickens chilling. And there was a very sad looking bull that you could like pay a couple bucks to go sit on the bull and have your picture taken on top of the bull, which seems very odd to me. And there was a mini golf course, which isn't odd, but was just there. Nobody was really playing mini golf, because right next to mini golf was the swimming pig race.
I'm in.
How much?
Sign me
tell
the fuck
Tell
up.
me that there was a bunch of like older gentlemen standing around a fence, like putting out wagers on which pig was gonna swim.
I didn't see that. They only run the pig race twice a day, and we weren't there for it.
Did you see that?
No.
Oh,
we left.
come on.
We left right before it started because we were trying to get food, but everybody was like crowding around the line dancing, and it was too crowded to find a place to sit and eat food. So rather than stick around for the line dancing show and then the pig race, we decided to go get dinner. Swimming pig races, it's basically just like a lap pool that you put pigs in and make them race. I do not understand how or why this is a thing, but it just shocked me. I can't.
Kind of fire up the Googler, boys.
I'm sure there's a YouTube video. We can put one in the show notes. There has to be.
Can pigs swim?
What the hell kind of question is that? Haven't you ever seen a pig with flippers on?
No! Is this a thing?
Yeah. Go to Amazon, type in pig flippers.
Are they flippers that you put on pigs to make them swim better?
No, it's like a mermaid tail that you put on a pig.
Oh my gosh.
In the Bahamas, pigs can swim. Well,
I don't think it's
you got it,
just
boys.
in the Bahamas, but okay.
That's what the Googler told me. Swimming pigs, other surprising animals that love water. I can't wait to read this. It's National Geographic. Well, they probably are here just to get my clicks and views.
Oh my gosh. I found a video, and it's exactly what you would expect it to be.
Pigs in a pool?
Pretty much.
Is this like a Georgia thing, or is this like something that normal people?
I don't know. I had never heard of it until I moved here.
Pig swim race. Oh yeah, this is great. Oh, look at those piggies. Oh.
This is actually look at him go. This is actually kind of adorable.
It is kind of adorable.
That's not a very long race. That's short. Or are they going back? They're going for a second lap.
Oh, they have to do laps.
Oh, it just restarted over. It's fine.
Well, somebody's clearly like changed the speed of this video, and so the audio is all warped and messed up. But we'll put it in the show notes. It's kind of fun to watch. It was definitely not what I expected to see at the apple orchard, that's for sure.
I'm totally gonna own a racing pig someday. All right, so let's go on to my topic, because as I discovered before the show, that things kind of took a turn for the worse this week, which isn't surprising for anybody. But like, I guess so I should say I'm kind of like upset that Tom Petty died. People on this podcast who aren't me do not share in this, and in fact do not like Tom Petty. And Tyler even shared a really great anecdote that he's gonna have to share again, because it just like really threw me off balance that this is how people feel about Tom Petty. But yeah, so Tyler, let's just start with that. Share your little anecdote real quick about what you
you were raised to believe about Tom Petty.
What
right. So I feel like over the course of time, people have really grown to know my father, and one of his prime characteristics is that if it wasn't music that wasn't created between somewhere in the 60s and 70s, he does not give a fuck about it. and even then, he even hates music within those time frames. Now, in this specific example, my father said that, Tom Petty, he's just he did paraphrasing, just a shitty Bob Dylan. He would never say shitty, but that's more or less what he said.
And is that your only exposure to Tom Petty? Other than like Free Fallin'?
There was an episode of Seventh Heaven where they listened to that one song, Free Fallin'. And then I have obviously listened. There's also, I've listened to the singles, I've heard a few of those, but I've never really taken a deep dive into any of his albums, no.
I've never really been a Tom Petty fan. I really don't like Free Fallin' at all. I don't think it's that good of a song. And that really turned me off when I was younger to him. But as I got older, it was just like his style of music wasn't really something that worked for me, which is weird because I like a lot of classic rock of that period. But I do really love the Traveling Wilburys, which is the group that Bob Dylan, and George Harrison were in. And those two albums that they did together are fantastic. But for some reason, I just cannot do Tom Petty by himself. I don't know why. Or with the Heartbreakers, for that matter. It just doesn't really work for me. I respect what he's done, but not really my thing. But Sean, you wanted to talk to us a little bit about Tom Petty and why you think we should care more about him?
Yeah, okay. So first of all, I should just be upfront. Like when I was learning how to play guitar, how I learned how to play guitar was I just went and got a Tom Petty's Greatest Hits album from the library, and I learned how to play all of it. Like I learned how to play the entire album. So like he just like really formed me in like the way that I like learned how to play guitar, and doing these like 3-bar structures and like, kind of like rocky Americana. It's really had like, I really want to say that Tom Petty kind of like was the catalyst for me becoming a folk and Americana fan, along with having, like being into rock and roll, which I was really into at the time and still am really into. So like, I think of Tom Petty fondly, and I always thought like, honestly, what made me do it was because, Last Dance with Mary Jane, like really it's like an earbug for me. So I get it stuck in my head, and I have to like go listen to Weezer or something to get it out of my head again. And then I'm stuck with Weezer. It's just an endless cycle. It's just vicious at that point. So like for everybody who doesn't know, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers started back in the mid 70s out of Florida. And I remember watching this VH1 special about Tom Petty, and he said that they originally got their start was because they would go and play rock in a strip club, and they would tell the owner was like, oh yeah, just play whatever the hits are. They were just do covers. So they would like play a cover, And then they would do like a bunch of songs that they wrote because they said that all these guys that were in the strip club, they weren't paying attention and they didn't know what rock music was or like what the popular songs were. So they would just use it as rehearsal time to play their own music and nobody knew any better. Man,
this Bob Dylan song sure is good. I forgot about this one.
So like, I always thought that was pretty cool that they just did that kind of stuff and they just knew that nobody knew any better, so they played what they want. This morning, on Sunday morning, they did this, and I think rightfully so, they did this like really good summary piece of Tom Petty where they were saying like a lot of his songs they're not like, none of these songs are like gonna like blow your mind because they're like technically like amazing or anything like that, but they're like good Americana songs where you're like, it's about heartbreak or about like getting over something, or they're just like easy tales, right? They're just like really easy to consume, and that's what makes them really good, especially if you're like in like a fall day or like a summer day when it's sunny outside. I feel like this is why it kind of connects with me and Tom Petty, because it's just like, he's Tom Petty. He does like Americana stuff. So yeah, I'll miss you, Tom. But side note, Tyler did say that Tom Petty had some really weird music videos, and you would definitely be right. He was quite a character.
Yeah, it's so interesting because I feel like there's these two competing images of Tom Petty in my mind. There's the like folk troubadour Tom Petty who's gonna like weave you a yarn, and that's definitely the side of him that I'm much more like. That's the one that I get along with more. But then there was the weird like 80s Tom Petty that would like wear leather and make weird music videos and like try to do new wave. And I feel like more so than a lot of celebrities of the period, he tried to adapt his image to the 80s, and it probably wasn't the right choice for him.
That's why I kind of give it to him, because like he tried it. I really think like when I look at Tom Petty, he would be the closest that America could have to having like a David Bowie kind of, in its own like sense that like America's like native instruments are the banjo and the mandolin. Like,
yeah, I mean, definitely until you get to people like Lady Gaga, I would say that is probably the best comparison.
Yeah, and like just out of that same moment kind of thing, they tried it. So, but when you look at, so I was looking at like I remember when we went and saw Weezer at Bunbury almost 8-9 years ago now.
It's been a while.
Yeah. Like he could play a show of songs that you could hear on the radio all the time.
Oh yeah, he's definitely one of those artists like Weezer where he starts playing a song, you're like, wait, I know this one.
Yeah, you know this song. Like, you remember hearing it from someplace. Like, this is on iTunes right now. Like, the top few songs are Mary Jane's Last Dance, which probably everybody knows. American Girl, which everybody probably knows at some point. Breakdown, Refugee, Learning to Fly, Even the Losers, which probably might be a little bit harder to know, like a little bit more deeper of a track. But those first 5... I promise that you've probably heard them in your lifetime.
Right.
Listening to classic rock radio or something.
Yeah. Like the songs that are going to live for
Ever.
50 years at least. Like, probably, I mean, we've done a really good job of keeping songs around for a very long time. So, I mean, I can't imagine. I mean, like, Sublime made like 2 albums that we're still like, this is the greatest band ever made.
Oh my God, shut up.
There is definitely, too, like, I feel like Tom Petty, his songs are covered so much more than a lot of artists from that period. There are so many different versions of some of these songs. Like, I Won't Back Down's been covered a ton of times. I mean, Free Fallin' gets covered, but not, like, nobody can do the original justice. He's definitely the kind of musician that other musicians look up to.
I think you can look back and say that he had a lot of influence on a lot of people. So, Running Down the Dream. I guarantee you've heard that one.
That's a great one.
Yeah. Like, that's what I mean. I feel like there's American Girl. Did I say that one?
Yeah, you did.
But yeah, I mean, like, it's pretty good. I think that he had a pretty good impact. Even if you don't love him, because, like, I'll give it to people who think that he's annoying, because, like, that his nasally vocals, you could totally not be into that. Like, that could be really appalling to some people, but that's fine.
So where would you tell people to start? Like, let's say somebody knows the hits, and now because of his passing, they want to learn a little bit more about Tom Petty. Where should they go?
I mean, I don't know. If you like the classics, he went through a lot of stuff. So if you like the classic-y stuff, go and do like 70s Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. If you like the 80s, like new wave kind of Tom Petty, then do that whole 80s thing, because he definitely went and did that. I feel like if you like old Tom Petty and you want to hear it with like where it's like really well produced and it's on like good instruments and everything, the new Tom Petty's good. Like listen to the live anthology or something, because like he sounds like he does in real life. Highway Companion was pretty good. It's not like crazy, but I mean, it's like when Tyler asked me, like, I'm thinking about listening to Pearl Jam, what should I listen to? And I just said, like, just listen to the anthology and see if there's like a couple songs that you connect with, and then go check that out. Like, I think that's the best way to find something, rather than saying like, this is the quintessential album. Like, you're going to find stuff that you just absolutely, like I was talking to Sarah this week and I was like, I don't think I like the Foo Fighters anymore. Like I listen to their new stuff and it just doesn't have it doesn't resonate with me the same way their old stuff did. I'm not upset about that, but like, it just doesn't, I don't feel myself seeking it out.
I think almost everyone feels that way about Foo Fighters, myself included, but that's fine. That new album's not good, guys. It's not good.
I've listened to all of Tom Petty's like newest stuff. We'll just end on this. Like, what's the oldest song that is like the farthest back you can go is like one of the best ones? Is there a really good like super old song?
Like, what's the oldest album? Let me see it looks like deepest one here would be like American Girl or Breakdown from 1976. That album would be called Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, self-titled.
Perfect.
Let's see what's on here. I'm just curious.
Oh, I know that one.
Yeah.
Nice.
Plan for WWDC like it's your birthday?
Do you have strong opinions on Snapchat filters?
Are you tired of 3-hour-long tech podcasts?
Then you should check out 10-Minute Tech Talk. It's a show Emily and I make every single Tuesday where we catch you up on a week's worth of technology news in just 10 minutes. You can find it on Apple Podcasts, Overcast, Google Play, and basically anywhere else you can get podcasts.
Hey everybody, it's that time again, everyone's favorite segment, It Came From the Internet. Internet garbage. Today on Internet Garbage, we're talking about, apparently, this place called Snapburger. So I followed this fellow who is normally an anime reviewer, content producer, named DigiBro. But he does lots of other miscellaneous content, and so he was talking about Snapburger, which apparently is this place that's just in New York.
Rochester.
So Rochester. I mean,
Rochester's
sorry.
in New York, Tyler. It's fine. Continue.
It's up by Canada.
What does that mean?
We understand you don't know how maps work. Keep going.
Previously established.
That has
about
nothing
geography.
to do with this.
Right.
I just wanted to find out what this was, because this dude was like, oh yeah, someone's calling me on my cell phone. He does this big tangent. He's like, oh, their number's from Virginia. And I was like, oh, maybe this place is like really close to me, so I should go check this place out. But it's not.
No. Anyway, so basically it's just a locally owned business, and it's called Snapburger, but there's nothing really snappable about it. And it's just kind of a local food restaurant that is kind of using like a gimmick, and you're like, tee. Why is this our internet garbage?
Well, so you missed the best part of it, which is it's not Snapburger. It's hashtag Snapburger.
Snapburger, because it's supposed to be
Right.
taking a picture of, apparently. But did you?
Right.
Okay, so I'm on Google right now looking at like let me tell you, there's nothing memorable about this restaurant. In fact, I really think that these people tried to make this the most unmemorable restaurant that you've ever been to ever. Like, Taylor's yawning right now. That's about how I feel when it comes to this restaurant, and I haven't even been there. Like, you go to a kiosk to order your food, and then you come to the counter and buy it and, like, pick it up. But other than that, there's, like, basically it seems to be no human interaction whatsoever. And it seems like, as far as I can tell, they basically try to take like a Taco Bell model and smash it with a 1950s version of McDonald's, and then add in all the benefits of non-human interaction that a grocery store self-checkout line could possibly give you.
That might actually be the most millennial thing about this, though. That you get to go in there and get your food without ever talking to a human. And honestly, I might be down with that. Like, as established on last week's podcast, sometimes the people you meet at McDonald's are not people that you want to talk to, and especially not when you're hungover. So maybe a Snap Burger-like situation where I just get greasy food to put in my mouth and don't have to talk to any greasy people, maybe that's the win-win.
This is what I want to do. This is okay. So I'm gonna totally take this off the rails. I'm gonna pitch you guys an idea for a restaurant. Okay, so we're gonna have a political themed burger joint, and it's gonna be called Hanging Chad. And we're gonna have Florida Punch Booth, and you're gonna order your food, and then you're gonna get a bag of random food. You don't even know what it's going to be. There's just a block price. Like when you go to Trader Joe's and it's just like there's just a price written on the bag and there's like random beers. That's what you're going to get. So you actually like put in an order, but then you come to the counter and we're like $8.50. And you're like, I ordered like only fries. And you're like, sucks, dude. It's $8.50. Hanging Chad. And then you just throw it at them and they throw cash at you. And that's it. And then it's like, this is Florida circa 2000.
So, sometimes you get a Subway, like 24-inch footlong subs for $5.
Sometimes it's not
what
even
about
food.
you?
Sometimes it's just like latex gloves and like some napkins. I don't.
That's pretty hard into the gimmick, you know. But boy, that sure would make it memorable.
I know. Snap that.
There's like the economy bars where it's like, oh, if everyone orders this drink, then it gets more expensive. You're like, well, that's cute, I guess.
What is this?
You've never heard of that?
No, I'm never going to a place that does that.
So it's like a supply and demand based bar?
Yeah.
I don't believe this.
What, who owns this chain like Ayn Rand?
It's true. I can't believe this is. Hold on. Stock Market Bar, Cincinnati.
Yep.
Queen City Exchange. All right, cool.
Hit me with that leg.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. Cincinnati's first bar that plans to price beer dynamically like stocks, with prices rising and falling based on demand, will open this weekend. Ooh.
Okay, I mean, here's the thing. I like rare beers. I think, like, finding and pursuing rare beers is interesting. But there's no way I'm going to essentially participate in a bidding war over pints of beer with fellow bargoers. That's fucking ridiculous. I'm not doing that.
Well, it's just fluctuating prices. If that person pays $7 up, you may have to pay $8. Oh no.
No. And I'm looking at a photo of their tap line from like when this article was done, which granted, article's a little outdated, but I recognize more than half the stuff on here. There are 3 different Sam Adams beers on here. Like, you should never be paying supply and demand pricing for Sam Adams. That's ridiculous. I'm sorry. No.
Honestly, what I'm doing, if I'm going to this stock market bar, is I'm going in there with like 60 people, and we're not gonna buy jack shit. And we're just gonna drop that fucking price until it gets really low. We're gonna have one person buy a drink, and then we're all gonna leave. Just have nobody buy anything in that whole place. Have them have like a shit night.
That's the thing. I feel like
this is the stupidest idea on earth. Like, this is just like, this makes me mad. Like,
I feel like you can do gimmicks well. Like, the speakeasy gimmick is kind of fun. I feel like when you get into changing prices of things, That's when the gimmick goes too far.
Like, if somebody asked that, let's go here, I would just say no.
Oh, but so it's either so ridiculous that the prices are like great bargain or unreasonably priced, or it's so ineffectual that they're like ineffective that it's like, oh, I have to pay 5 more cents for my
Well,
Miller High Life.
the thing was, even when they had the menu board, like $6 for a Dortmunder Gold at a bar isn't that bad. If that's the highest that it goes, that's fine. $4, that's pretty good. But that's like a 30% difference in what you could be paying for at any one time, and I'm not about to do that. Like, there's a thing that we used to do in Athens that a lot of bars do. It's called progressives. And it's that same essential idea, except for it's based on time, and it moves in a linear fashion up as the day moves forward. So...
Yeah, and for some reason, I'm much more comfortable with that than I am with the supply and demand-based pricing.
Yeah.
Okay, so... What is the most ridiculous restaurant or bar gimmick we can think of?
Well, let me tell you about this one first.
Okay, yeah. Tell me about this one. I know about this, but I want to hear Sean's reaction to this.
Gotcha. So, there's this company called like Gorilla Cinema or something like that. And so what they do is they make theme bars. And so they made a Shining bar, which is called like the Overlook Hotel. That was like their first one. And then the next one they came out with was called the Video Archives, which was a bar that was hidden behind like basically a rental shelf that you had to like pull the thing and it opens it up and it lets you in. And it's sort of, and it's I believe it's Pulp Fiction themed, I believe. I forget
it looks
the exact
like it.
movie. Yeah,
It's hard to tell from the thing, but
See, that looks great to me.
Oh, it's a Tarantino inspired bar. There you go.
That seems super fun. I'm not a big Tarantino fan, but why not?
Sure. And then Kevin Smith stopped by apparently, and everyone was very excited. But yeah, so I would say that's an example of one that at least is in our area. So let's just push that aside.
So craziest gimmick bar or restaurant you can think of?
All of them. One that with board games in it. And let's see. Or esports. Let's get those out of the way. Great.
honestly, I want to have a bar. This is gonna sound really gimmicky. It's just a bar with a bunch of old-timey soda machines in it that you can go up to and put tokens in and get beers like that. But it's a bunch of random machines, like old-style machines, and all around you all the time. So there's like food machines and stuff like that. You can just go in there and just like put in your token and then push whatever it was, and then you have, the beer comes out of the slot, and then that's how you
So it's like a Dave and Buster's type situation where you convert your cash into tokens, and then like maybe fries will be like 4 tokens, and a beer will be like 3 tokens or whatever.
No, like an old style cafeteria.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
But with beers and the machines would be like the Japanese tea machines, where you can go and like it will drop out like a beer.
Yeah, okay, I can get behind that.
And it's like a beer garden because there's just like, I mean, for me preferably it's gonna be outside because I love outside drinking.
Specifically outside drinking.
Drinking outside is much better than drinking inside.
Agreed. 100% agreed. I was actually headed in the same direction, Sean. I think this would be probably illegal in a lot of places due to open container laws, but we have food trucks. We have ice cream trucks. I want a beer truck. I mean, I don't know what song the beer truck would play as it came rolling down your street.
This is rock and roll.
Probably. That's probably what it would be. But I just want, like, the beer truck to come out and all of, like, the dads go out into the street and stand at the end of the driveway and, like, wave their cash and wait for the beer truck to pull up and they just get an ice cold beer.
This sounds like a Budweiser Super Bowl commercial.
It does, doesn't it? But it just seems like a great idea to me.
You better trademark that.
Beer truck, TM.
Hold on, I feel like I've lost the plot. What specifically are we trying to do? It's a gimmick, specifically
you gotta come
a
up
gimmick.
with a gimmick.
Okay, so it can't be like something that's actually cool. Okay, because I was like, what can I think of? Like, I was like, do I want like I was like, there's this TV show or this show on Netflix where it's just like this diner that opens at midnight where people just come and they just kind of just get whatever the fuck they want, whatever food this guy's just kind of serving. And so it's just sort of like this almost like a secret club kind of thing. But that's not very profitable for a lot of people. I don't know. So we already said a food truck, and
a cafeteria
an outdoor
style.
beer cafeteria.
The beer cafeteria.
The beerateria, if you will.
The beerteria.
Sure.
They used to have one in ancient Rome.
Ooh.
It looked like a giant can.
And there's already probably a cat dog bar.
Oh yeah, those are all over around here.
Yeah, we have a cat wine bar here.
Oh god, that would be so gross. Cat hair in your wine.
I don't know. What do I want to do? What do I want my gimmick to be?
This is great podcasting.
I'm also listening to rock and roll all night, so there's that, and I'm feeling really jazzed.
I can see that commercial right now. Just there's all these different. It's like the situational. There's a dad who's pushing the mower. He turns his head real slow in slow mo, and his eyes get all wide. And he just starts running in slow mo. And then there's all these other dads that are coming from behind him.
And you know that when the truck finally rolls slowly to a stop and the door opens, it's motherfucking Gene Simmons right there handing you a beer. And he
uses his giant demon tongue to hand you a beer.
I just want it to be over the top, someone Kool-Aid's man through a wall, through a garage door to get to the beer truck.
Just lets go of a self-driving mower and it runs off into the road.
Right. One of the dads stiff arms another dad to get out of the way. Just
pushes his kid on the swing and then just walks away. Alright, we gotta move on.
Yeah, we're done.
Alright, and now it's time to round the show out like we always do with the round of shameless plugs. We'll start with Tyler. Tyler, what you got?
Hey everybody. Thanks for listening. You can find my design work at tylerdreed.com, and you can find me on the socials as TDRSign on Instagram and Twitter. Inktober's been a complete bust, but I'm still trying, so watch out for hopefully anything at all.
My favorite is drinking buddy, Sean Evans. Where can the people find you?
They can find me on Twitter at sevans8910, and I haven't been on Snapchat in 6 months, but I don't know.
There might be a rogue Sean sighting.
Check me out on there, I guess. I haven't really been socialing lately. I've been really busy. So, sorry.
Same from me, but if you want to follow me, you can at TC Olmstead on the socials. Check out 10 Minute Tech Talk, the show I do with Emily Bamforth every Tuesday. You can follow and like the show at Dudes Brunch. Subreddit is our Dudes Brunch. We're on Twitch on Thursdays. I don't know, did I forget anything, Tyler?
No.
Ordinary Folk?
Oh yeah, go check out our buddy Zach. He does a show called Ordinary Folk. His last couple episodes have been really great. You should definitely go check those out.
And since we talked about burgers, you should.
Oh yeah, shouts out to Danny Capaccio and Denny and Spinny's Burger Search, their podcast where they try and find the best burger in Cincinnati, Ohio. Lots of good podcasts going on right now.
It's a good time to be a listener.
Yeah, keep listening to those podcasts, and we'll see you next week for another episode of Dudes Brunch.
Go grease lightning, that's the name of Sean Pig. Grease lightning, go grease lightning. Swimming so fast cause he's Sean's pig. Grease lightning, swim, grease lightning. He's a pig, he's real good. Grease lightning.